And welcome back. There are 2 military bases in the Fairbanks area, and a lot of military members stay in Fairbanks after their tour of duty. News Center 11's Monty Bowen takes a closer look at veterans in Alaska in this report.
Alaska has a lot of veterans. Some retire from the military and stay here. Others come to Alaska based on the things they hear about how veterans are received.
Alaska, based on per capita, we have the largest number of veterans population of almost any state in the nation. And we're veteran friendly.
A major campaign has been underway for some time to establish a veteran cemetery in the Fairbanks area.
The original plot that they had picked out could not be used because there was too much frost in the ground. So now there's a search underway for additional land. We need 40 to 100 acres to build a veteran cemetery in the interior.
Members of the Governor's Advisory Council are also looking at the possibility of having a veterans home in the interior.
Currently, there's an agreement with the state to house veterans in the pioneer homes. That does not take care of the veterans that need to be hospitalized or in a highly developed care unit between 18 and 65.
It's become the norm in recent years to have groups of people show up to welcome military members home from deployments. That wasn't the case in the 60s and early 70s, and some on the Governor's Council want to make it right.
One of the resolutions that we're doing is a resolution supporting Welcome Home Vietnam veterans. Steve Thompson has sponsored a bill to enable that to happen. So we're almost certain that it's going to pass and that will benefit the veterans community in this town.
Retired veterans have their benefits, but those who didn't do a full 20 still have entitlements they may not even be aware of. We'll talk about some of those tomorrow. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The annual United Way fundraiser is coming to an end. 20 agencies across the community will be recipients of donations collected from individuals, local businesses, and corporate groups. A goal of $1.5 million was set by campaign chairman Joan Johnson and John Ringstad. As of Tuesday, the goal thermometer was showing that more than 90% of the goal had been achieved. Both say meeting with groups and individuals has been an uplifting experience. They say they have a better understanding of how donations aid the local agencies and our community.
And to see the workplace campaigns and the individuals and the companies and businesses that want to make sure that this is a happy, healthy community and support the 20-member United Way agencies has been very humbling, and the awareness has just been heartfelt by myself.
And Joni and I have met and gone through and spent time with all of them, and it just amazes us what they do and the needs they have. They really are working with people in our community, all the way across our community. Their needs continue to grow. So they're looking for our help, which is critical to them every year, and we want to continue to help them and help our community.
The United Way funding is critical to the missions of these 20 organizations. I think it's, as they'll all tell you, it provides them opportunities and time to be working in their programs. You know, we're out in the fundraising business, and we're out, you know, generating those needed resources for them.
The sorrowful tale of a young Jewish girl and her family evading Nazis' forces of World War II opens this Friday at the Haprider Riverfront Theater. Fairbanks Drama Association's The Diary of Anne Frank. The stage production of The Diary of Anne Frank is just that, a recollection of scenes and memories based on the journal entries of one Annalise Marie Frank.
Anne is a very vivacious girl. She came from a privileged background. She had all sorts of friends. She had lots of boyfriends.
That life would soon be short-lived as Nazi rule took power in Germany, causing Anne and her family to flee to the Netherlands, which quickly falls under Nazi occupation. The Frank family spends the next 2 years hidden away in the walls of her father's office.
The first scene is 1945 now, where Mr. Frank comes back to Amsterdam. After that scene, we go back 2 years prior, and you see everything that happens the 2 years they're in the annex.
Relationships, family struggles, and humor here and there fill the lives of the Frank family in the 2 years. Tragically, history notes what becomes of Anne, her sister, and mother after their location is discovered. FDA's production puts it all out there for the audience to witness. This production is based on the Broadway play, which Otto Frank, Anne's father, was involved in.
He loved working with amateur groups when they would do the Diary of Anne Frank. And so I hope my version of this, that he's in the audience and, sorry, that he'll like it, sorry. And you guys will have to bring hankies because you'll cry.
The Diary of Anne Frank premieres Friday with performances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the 24th. Call FDA at 456-PLAY for showtimes and reservations.
That looks like it's going to be a very good
I think so. Very powerful.
Okay.
So, Joe, tell us what powerful sports you have for us this Thursday.
Good one. Probably nothing on that scale, but you know, today we have a result from the state hockey tournament in Wasilla, and some basketball teams. Hey, they start well in the big tournament in Anchorage, and a full Yukon Quest report. That and much more coming up in sports.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska's Joe Cook once again, the sports seat for you this Thursday. Hope you're having a good day. To make it a little better, let's get to some sports. We start off tonight with a score from the 4A state hockey playoffs. And today, West Valley couldn't continue their momentum from their epic MAC title victory over Lathrop and fall to Diamond, the number 3 team from the Cook Inlet Conference. The final was 7-1. And a 1 versus 3 matchup in the quarterfinals of the state hockey playoffs. Nonetheless, a great season from the Wolfpack. We'll have the final outcome of the Lathrop's game against South Anchorage tomorrow as well. Now we'll switch over to girls basketball. In Anchorage, in the 15th annual Diamond Lady Lynx Prep Shootout Tournament, 2 interior teams got wins yesterday. The Lathrop Malamutes won 47-37 over Juneau Douglas. Jasmine White dropped 22 points, while Ruthie Hebert had the stat line with 23 rebounds. Wow, West Valley and West Anchorage went to overtime. The Wolfpack had a 9-point lead in the 4th, but West forced overtime. The Wolfpack regained control and won 52-47 in OT. Carly Marquez and Lodgen Ashmore each scored 13 for the Wolfpack. And today, Lathrop faced 1 seed Wasilla. Lathrop made only 11 shots the entire game, falling 55-35 to Wasilla. Wasilla was led by Alexis Emos, 25 points. Ruthie Hebert had 13 points and 14 boards for Lathrop. West Valley roared back against Soldotna and won 50-47 thanks to a 14-3 run late in the second half. Caitlin Bryce powered the Wolfpack with 21 points. And after a humbling series with the Miami Redhawks that ended the Nanics winning streak, the boys are back in the Carlson Center facing Ohio State. In November, when these teams met, the Buckeyes won in a shootout, and then Nanics won the second game 3-1. Ohio State now has 2 top 10 scorers in the CCHA, in Ryan Zingle and Tanner Fritz. In this 5 versus 6 matchup, Ohio State has the 3rd-ranked scoring defense, and the Nanics have the number 2 penalty kill in the conference, even though Trevor Campbell, a top defenseman, is out with an MCL injury he suffered last week. Campbell is helping out the defense as best he can, and defense will be key in this series.
All these guys can play, so they know exactly what they need to do to be successful, and I just try to help them out any way I can. If I see something that they're not seeing or anything like that, I'll try to give them some advice, but pretty much just give them some confidence that they can play.
Yeah, I think that we gotta make sure that our work ethic's there and ethic is there, and sticking to the game plan and our systems as a whole, as a group, and working together as a team, and making sure that we stick to the game plan and have fun.
You know, our specialty teams down the stretch here are going to be very important, so we got to make sure that we're, staying sharp and using our power plays, our penalty kills to create momentum for ourselves in times of games when we need it.
And tonight, we take a look at the veterinarians of the Yukon Quest and their vital role in the race. The head veterinarian of the Quest with 12 years experience explains.
Many of the things we do at checkpoints, one, we're making sure the dogs are healthy, they're eating, they're drinking, they're appropriately urinating. If they're sore somewhere, we trace it down. So we do a lot of physical exams that require musculoskeletal experience, so you know how to palpate and how to find where these little problems are. We give advice to the musher and say, yeah, this one's going to get better, or maybe this one isn't. You might want to drop the dog, and we'll take care of the dog until we can give it to the handler. And you know, we're not the dog police. We're not there just to take dogs, but it works beautifully. And the mushers are very knowledgeable. We take the medicine, we put those two things together, and we do what's best for the dogs.
In today's Yukon Quest report, the big news is four-time Yukon Quest and Iditarod champion Lance Mackey. He has been scratched. He had 14 dogs into the race, but by the time he reached Dawson City, he only had 7. Mackey's small team and the well-being of his pups were the reasons for the scratch. And Jake Berkowitz was upset about the extended layover in Dawson, saying it messed up his racing schedule, and he has even called for a new race judge. But the extension had to be made for trails to be rerouted around American Summit and for race officials to be in the proper place. No other mushers had an issue with the extra layover time. Now the leaderboard, Hugh Neff is still in the lead, headed toward Eagle with 12 dogs. Alan Moore is close behind with 11 dogs. They are followed by Berkowitz, Sass, and Smith in the top 5. And that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Time for the look at the weather. Mike Schultz with you with a beautiful photograph. Gorgeous. This one's sent in by John Huprich. Cold sunset. Captures the colors gorgeous, just beautifully, and beautiful pinks and everything. And again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to me, Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Here's what's going on at the airport right now. 1 degree with cloudy skies. High today is 5. Low last night, 15 below. Record high in 1964. Record low in 1979. Sunrise at 9:16 this morning. Sunset 4:57. Works out to about 7 hours. 41 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite picture. I was talking about that storm system coming in from the southwest yesterday. You can see it really working its way in, bringing lots of moisture, and there's the clouds and the snow moving our direction. A little bit closer look with our latest radar is showing that we are looking at more clouds and snow moving up from the south. I'd expect it to be here about an hour from now, basically, and we are looking about 1 to 2 inches of snow possibly out of this next frontal system coming in. What's going on across the rest of the state? Showers over southeast Alaska, clouds to clear skies over the south central sections in the Gulf of Alaska, then kind of moist and snowy up and down the west coast. Very cold up in the north slope, and Fort Yukon 8 degrees below zero with partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather, well, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Not too bad over to the west. Few showers over to the west coast, but the news is all the energy that's really developing right now. It really shows up good on the satellite and radar. 2 storms, this one moving out across the Atlantic Ocean, this one coming in from across the Great Lakes, are going to merge together and bring just some incredible weather for the Northeast. In fact, here's what the snowfall totals look like. Boston, almost more than 2 feet of snow possible. Everywhere else looking at a foot to 2 feet of snow, even all the way down to New York and Philadelphia, 1 to 3 inches, and that's going to continue into Saturday. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow for the northern sections. Very cold and cloudy at Barrow. Clouds for Nome and snow at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at periods of snow for both Healy and Fairbanks, about 2 inches possible. Over the southeast part of the state, again, rain and snow for Juneau and rainy periods expected at Ketchikan. To the southwest, we'll go over the Bering Sea and looking at snow at Bethel, rain showers for Cold Bay, and over Kodiak, looking at also rainy conditions. And over the south central regions, snow showers at Anchorage and partly cloudy in Homer with 2 inches for Valdez. Well, time once again for our kids' weather. Only tonight, we're going to be talking with a teacher from Two Rivers Elementary School.
Hello, I'm Miss Jen, and this is my 4th and 5th grade class here at Two Rivers School. We have a fun weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that Ray Sullivan, a forest ranger in Virginia, has been struck by lightning over 7 times in the past 35 years?
Whoa. And that'll wrap up our kids for this week. Next week, we'll be visiting with the kids from U Park Elementary School. Time real quickly for a look at the road conditions. As you can see here, we're looking at snow on the roads. Everywhere you go, ice buildup, and gusty winds down around the Delta Junction area with snow expected on all 3 highways. So keep that in mind if you're out driving tonight or tomorrow. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. More clouds with snow developing. Like I said, 1 to 2 inches possible, 3 degrees below zero. Tomorrow's forecast, 11 above with more snow likely, another inch possible. And the extended forecast, we're still going for those mild temperatures. Joe doesn't believe it, but it is expected to happen for Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures close to 30 degrees each day. Then we'll cool off pretty good as another cold front moves through, and temperatures will continue to still be very nice for this time of year, above normal. Overnight lows in the teens below by Tuesday and Wednesday, but still for this time of year, not bad.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I am too.
Very cool. He's becoming more and more optimistic.
All right, well, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we're glad you could join us.
And when you see news, give us a call at the newsroom at 458-1830.
That'll do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here at 11.
Bye.